You're not old enough to say that.
Back.
And you're not old enough to watch this series, so get out of here. I'm joking.
Yeah, she's 18. She's old enough. You know?
I don't know. Being around Hideaki makes me feel damned old. Yeah, fucking tell me about it. Every time I meet I'm like, I've not spoken to an 18-year-old, but I teach a lot of young kids, and I'm like, Jesus, I'm so old. Like, I'll be like,
I know, I got it.
I'll make a reference to something, and they're like, I don't know what that means. I'm like, oh. Like, one of them was, I made a Back to the Future reference in a lesson, and they were like, no. Don't get it. And I was like, oh,
that's ridiculous.
What? Anyway. I don't know, being around here, I always feel damn old. He's so precocious, he reminds me of you when you were younger. He's a nice boy. It'd be a shame if she's comes to have too much of an influence on him.
He's a nice young man. Akira gives an amused snort at her sister's antipathy. She really doesn't seem to regard it as anything to make a serious fuss about, treating it more like a childhood spat. She looks over to me, apparently only just remembering that I'm here, and gives a small grin as she reaches towards her back pocket. What is it? What is it? What's in the box?
What is it? Just a sec, let me dig it out.
After quite some difficulty, she manages to retrieve her black leather wallet from her back pocket, quickly fishing out what looks to be a folded square of paper. With Lilly all but unaware of what's happening, Akira unfolds the scrap and hands it to me. An old photo of what looks to be a younger Lilly and Shizune operating a noodle stall, with some other girl in the background. She looks vaguely familiar, but I can't quite pinpoint why.
Who is that?
Care to hazard a guess?
It's not Hanako, is it?
No, it's not Hanako.
It can't be Misha. I'm dumb. I don't know who that is.
What makes you say that? Well, you say it can't be Misha, Julian. Let's find out who it is.
Okay. What is it, Akira? I think you know.
Lilly mulls this over for a few moments before realization dawns on her.
Akira, you really needn't. It's fine, isn't it? Besides, it's like the only photo I have of you two since you entered Yamaku when you're not at each other's throats.
I look back down to the photo in my hand. It does seem strange to see Lilly and Shizune working together so diligently without any sign of animosity. If the photos of them during Yamaku's festival, that means it must have been taken 1 or 2 years ago. In other words, the time when they were both in the student council together. Who's the girl in the back? She looks kind of familiar.
I fucking knew it!
No,
I was
you didn't.
right.
You said it can't be Misha. Those were your
exact
words.
I said
it can't be Misha.
Well, I was like... I said it because I was just like... I was just going with the anime trope of like... You know... People in anime have weird colored hair. So I was just like, oh, maybe she's always had pink hair. But no. Okay, fair enough.
No.
Interesting. And yeah, you wouldn't recognize her. It's Misha before she went and dyed her hair pink.
Yep. That's Misha? No way. It feels extremely strange to see Misha with her so very distinctive hairstyle.
It's very
distinctive. It's very distinctive. It's very, very distinctive. Judging from Akira's tone, she doesn't take favourably to Misha's idea of fashion. I suppose that fact just accentuates how odd the situation looks. To think they were so friendly in the past. I wish I could do something to mend their relationship.
It's not up to you, man.
Yeah, man, it's not
between
your place.
them. You're being very quiet, Hiso.
It just feels kind of strange to see you all so friendly like this. Lilly moves to say something, but stops herself. In the end, this isn't a matter for me. It's between Shizune and Lily and nobody else.
Yeah.
We're one step ahead of this game, Julian, the entire time.
Man. Things change, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah. I hand the photo back to Akira, who sighs as she folds it up and slides it back into her wallet. A little memory, quietly hidden away, to be pulled out again sometime later.
Yeah, that they do.
Initially, I think Akira's reaction to be simply in response to the situation between Lily and Shizune, but she looks oddly glum compared to what I'd expect. Lily's expression is clouded as well. What's wrong?
It's just that I'll be going to Scotland fairly soon.
You're leaving for Scotland again? For a moment, Akira looks surprised. It's an ill-fitting expression for her. After a glance at Lily, she turns back to me as if she'd never done so.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks I'll be leaving for Inverness to work at the company's headquarters. It's a pretty big jump in corporate position, and it's not a chance that's going to come again. Hey, Inverness is quite nice.
Yeah, Inverness is quite nice, but I was going to say, can you picture any kind of large company headquarters in Inverness?
Inverness is quite a big city, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but I don't know, maybe it's just my central beltness coming out, but I don't picture anything north of, like, Stirling, really.
Yeah.
To be that kind of built up in like a kind of corporate way, you know?
Well, maybe because a lot of these places, sometimes they just take like a historic building that hasn't been used for much
and
else,
they convert
and they just slot in there, because a lot of these places try to sort of conserve the way that the city looks.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of places like St Andrews as well, and like Stirling, for example,
and not like Aberdeen
or Edinburgh, where Edinburgh
kind of did it and didn't do it, like, you know. But listen, you don't want to get me started on Edinburgh.
No, neither of us. We're just gonna Ouija bash Edinburgh.
Akira's going to leave Japan on what seems to be a permanent basis. Sorry, I did continue, but I'm going to stop again. You may recall me saying at one point in an episode of something that my favourite Scottish phrase or like concept was the concept of having had one's tea.
Yeah.
And how it means that you're not getting fed. Apparently, that's not like a Scottish wide thing. It's specifically like a Glasgow, Edinburgh. So, like, as far as Ouijas are concerned, people from Glasgow, if you go to Edinburgh, they're stingy and they won't feed you. So they'll say you've had your tea. Like, it's not like a general. I just assumed like it was a general all over Scottish thing, but no. Apparently, it's to do with the fact that in Edinburgh there's not the same hospitality that you would get out here in the West Coast.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
There you go.
There's some classic Ouija bashing right there.
I can't help feeling that my assumption that we could all happily while away our days having fun in this isolated little world is coming to an end. It's unsettling. I look at Lily, mildly surprised that she hasn't told me such a thing, despite usually being so forthcoming. She continues to walk with her face fixedly pointed at... I wouldn't have written that way. She continues to walk with her face fixed pointedly ahead. I can't read her expression, nor can I even guess what's on her mind, which is discomforting given how it's usually easy for me to do both. It reminds me of the time we met at Shanghai, just before what could be called our first date. At the time, all I could do was comfort her without knowing the cause, and now feels no different.
Damn.
As we finally reach the school dormitories once again, there's a somewhat awkward silence. I don't think I'm the only one who feels it. See you tomorrow then, Lily? Bye, Akira.
Good night, Hisso. See ya! Fucking swings away again.
Yep, and with that, they walk to the female dormitories.
Oh. See ya!
See ya!
See ya!
See ya! See ya! Opening the door to the male dormitories, I stop and look back at them just moments before their figures disappear behind the heavy wooden door. That was a strange moment when Akira said she was leaving. While that wasn't the first time when my thoughts regarding my new life have been called into question, it's perhaps the first time to do it quite so profoundly. I still don't know what to make of Akira's reaction, much less of Lily's. The night's chill reminds me to get back to my room before I catch something, my bags pulling down on my arms with seemingly redoubled weight. If nothing else, I have a date with her set up for the weekend. I just need to stop overthinking stuff and get on with things as they are. The exams are still ongoing, after all, and with the trimester's end and the semester holidays and the summer holidays beginning soon, there'll be plenty to keep me busy for a while. As I give a yawn and retreat inside, my thoughts turn to what Lily will decide to set as the location of our weekend rendezvous. You know who we've not seen in a while?
What?
Kenji.
Oh.
What?
Okay. Is that...
Well, we haven't seen Kenji in a while. It was just a statement. It wasn't like a foreshadowing.
Yeah. It's true. We haven't seen him. Probably for the best.
Thank God.
I mean, I miss voice acting him because it's really fun.
My dude.
My dude, my man.
My man. All right.
I hate women. Here? Yeah, I don't know why it's taken so long. Oh, jeez.
Oh, I love this tune. I'm pretty sure this is about the last thing I had in mind when Lily said she'd decide where to have our date. Are you kidding? This is a really classy place.
This is really
No
nice.
man nor woman is dressed in anything but their finest, their formality only matched by that of their surroundings. Rich red wallpaper adorns the walls as the city lights far below flicker and glow.
Oh.
Listen to that mood music, absolutely. Combined with the ambient hum of quiet speech and the high-pitched clattering of cutlery and wine glasses, the mood is very formal, yet relaxed enough for me not to feel too uptight, despite this being our first real date. Once we get seated, our waiter leaves to attend to others with a quick bow, after an appreciative nod from Lily. Far from depending on my help, Lily's managed to navigate herself around surprisingly easy so far, despite the unfamiliar environment. A little brush here and there, and she's generally quite deft at orientating herself as needed. I'm speaking quietly because the jazz is nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. This is nice too.
This is very
My eyes
nice.
look relieved. I can tell from her face that she's listening to her surroundings just as hard as I'm looking. Though, truth be told, my eyes are lingering on her each time they sweep across the room. Oh dear, what is this word? The red cheongsam?
Yeah, maybe. Julian, put up what does it actually sound like?
Cheongsam.
Thank you.
The red cheongsam she's wearing accentuates her figure very well and shows off her legs. Even her hair is done up, and the scent of perfume is just noticeable.
Oh.
She looks amazing. While my black suit may be a rental, I managed to select an appropriate one. It feels surprisingly comfortable considering I've so rarely worn one, and fits the setting just as well as Lily's attire. Can you imagine that he had no idea that they were going to go somewhere fancy and he turned up in like a pair of like swim shorts? Like swim shorts, a wife beater, and a pair of Birkenstocks, and he's like, "Hey, where are we going?"
And socks.
And socks, of course. And she's like, and then she turns up in a fucking cheongsam and is like, "Yeah, we're going to this fancy place," and he's just like, "Oh, okay."
Hey, I mean, like, I'm sure there's dudes in, like, I don't know, Silicon Valley or something that dress like that and go to fancy restaurants.
Yeah.
And even then they're like,
spend.
"Oh, eating food's for plebs. I only use Huel." Fucking.
I guess this is a new experience for both of us then. She turns somewhat sheepish.
Yeah.
I know.
I've never come to a place such as this before, no.
One hell of a first date, that's for sure. It's gonna be pretty hard for me to top this.
Mate, this isn't even a first date. You've already had sex. Like, at this point, it's just you're going out for dinner.
It's a formality, yeah.
Yeah.
If anything. A small giggle. Even now, our nervousness is dissipating. Her hand skates along the center of the table until it touches the menu, which she takes in both hands and brings to her face.
Hisso?
As she lowers the beige, laminated sheet just below her eyes, I can see another sheepish look. I doubt asking the waiter for a menu in Braille would be productive. I never know.
Yeah.
I can read it out for you, no problem.
Okay.
I take mine and give it a quick read, my small grin faltering. Perhaps there is.
Oof.
Oh,
What's wrong?
there are quite a few items on here, and I'm not completely sure how to pronounce a couple of them. One fine cuisine after another is listed. Most may be in Japanese, but a few are in English and French. I guess it's to be expected, but I have no idea what's in some of these.
Oh, there's this chocolate chicks. What is that?
It says, chips and curry sauce? Oh, this one I recognize. Oh, wait, hang on. You can cook that? A small giggle of amusement comes from behind the paper sheet. Well, I could read them all out, but it'd take a few hours.
Is there anything with some kind of fish in it?
Let's see.
There's a small fish, and there's a small special fish. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what makes it special, but
and you can
that's
just
what
get.
it says.
There's a 1 piece and there's a 2 piece.
No. Aren't those poisonous? No. They eat that stuff. No. Ah, here we go. Tuna salad seems to be a good bet. From the picture, it looks like it'd be a pretty filling as well.
That seems to be a reasonably safe option.
Let's order 2 then. I'm pretty sure a couple of these dishes are from poisonous animals. I've had enough deadly run-ins for now. Lilly maintains a smile, but there's a distinct lack of laughter. Black humor mustn't be her cup of tea. Though, to be honest, I don't find it exceedingly funny either.
There are certainly quite a few interesting smells wafting about. The same is true of the sights, I assume.
I've never been anywhere quite like this. A fancy Japanese tea house on occasion or two, but never anything this lavish, nor European in styling. Before another word can be said, a portly waiter in a distressingly tight vest appears at our table to take our orders. Provençal tuna salad niçoise, please. 2. I hope I didn't mess up the pronunciation of that too badly. Don't worry, you didn't. Even if I did, he doesn't show it.
And may I have a glass of Chardonnay, please, Hisso?
Oh, the same. As the waiter nods and leaves, I suddenly realise what I said by absent-mindedly mimicking Lily's answer. I regret it pretty quickly. Alcohol.
Only a bit?
Yeah, man, it's 1 glass.
Yeah.
This girl has an odd propensity to getting hooked on things, I swear.
Getting hooked on this dick? Anyway.
Julian!
Sorry! It was there! I couldn't not do it!
Okay.
Hey, it's fine. It's all...
Yeah, it's fine.
It's just goofs.
Surprising that they didn't ask for identification. Actually, yeah, challenge 25, bitch.
Yeah.
Then again, I guess we both do look mature for our age.
I'll have to take your word for it. I'll add that this isn't what I'd call the type of place to ask such things, though.
Okay. Good point.
Yeah,
I love that when you know the places that don't ID.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a problem for me anymore, but like at the time,
Yeah.
very handy. We both relax a little into our seats, trying to take our minds off the choking formality of the surroundings. As soon as we do, the same waiter reappears at our table with 2 empty glasses and a bottle, the contents of which are quickly and professionally poured into the former. Oh. We both nod. It's just our hand and we're getting excited.
I know.
We both nod politely as he leaves. Lily taking her glass and gently moving it from side to side. The liquid inside glistens as it moves around in the glass, and I have to admit it makes me a little less regretful for ordering the same. I guess it must take effort to judge how the liquid inside is acting based only on its centre of balance. Maybe it's like her origami, taking every little chance to practice her dexterity. It's a double bass solo, just by the way.
Yeah, let's talk over it.
Sorry.
That's how you know it. That's how you know it's a good double bass solo. It's when people start talking over it.
I guess I'm not surprised that you know about a place like this. Those who have money would, I suppose.
Oh, alright. This reminds me of just how completely different our upbringings were. In Yamaku, it's easy to forget about social and economic disparity between students all wearing the same uniforms, living in the same dormitories.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons I actually like uniforms. I used to hate it, but I'm like, uniforms, basically, it just makes everybody look like there's no disparity, you know, like,
Yeah,
you don't
absolutely.
know that this person's really rich and this person's really poor, you know, or whatever, you know.
Well,
Everybody
unless,
shows it. I mean,
yeah.
yeah. But you know what I mean.
I know
Well,
what you mean.
Akira was the one to tell me of it. She comes here. She's come here before, apparently.
So that's what they were conspiring about on Friday.
And you chastise me for cheating?
That's not cheating. It's simply making use of personal contacts.
Good point.
Yeah.
If you say so. Still, I get the feeling that you're more familiar with this kind of restaurant than I am.
Oh.
What was that? She didn't
I
even
think-
say anything. She
I
just
think
opened her
she's.
eyes. She pauses a moment, a wistful look on her face before
think
softly
she-
smiling.
I think she took a swig.
Oh, okay. The compliment seems to brighten her mood.
You can thank my former school for that. If I were to appear any less, they'd be gravely disappointed.
She has mentioned her previous schooling before, but now I'm kind of curious. She seems to think a lot about her past, so I don't see any problem in asking.
What was that like?
It was prestigious, all girls, and Catholic. These facts made my parents choose it for me. Many wealthy families send their daughters there. There you go.
From how it sounds, life there must have been pretty strict.
I'm
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
sure the Red Hot Chilies wrote a song about Catholic schoolgirls.
Knowing Anthony Kiedis, that does not surprise me.
It's like one of their really early ones.
You bastard. Yes.
Do you know, like?
No, he is. No, I don't.
Okay.
I think he's genuinely spoiled the Chili's for me. Like, I was never much of a Chili's fan anyway.
Right.
I think partly for the reason that so many people do love them is just because their sound is so distinct and they love.
I just
trying
like
to
Flea.
mold different genres, and Flea obviously is amazing, but
But
But after a while, I was just like, I don't really like the Chili's, and Anthony Kiedis just strikes me as like a weird pervert, so I don't really like him either.
yeah, he would be the kind of guy to hang around outside a Catholic girls' school, like.
Absolutely, and like
Yeah.
Iggy Pop's the same. Like any man in their mid to late 40s or older that insists on cutting about without a shirt on, just fuck off, man. What are you
Okay,
doing?
fair
Put
enough.
a damn shirt on, unless you're at the beach or in the
Yeah.
or in a pool. You know, like
That's
put a
something
fucking
I
shirt
always
on.
thought about Iggy Pop's torso. It just looks so upset.
oh,
It just
he
looks so sad. He's just like,
looks
oh,
like a sad face.
yeah,
He
it's just
does.
like, hide me, Iggy, hide me. Oh,
Kill
okay. Kill me. I wouldn't say it was a bad experience, but you're quite right. It was very strict. Thankfully, I managed to adapt well enough and make a number of friends.
Good.
Fortunately, the same can't be said for my sister. She found the atmosphere and religious aspects suffocating and ended up leaving for a job as soon as she was able to.
She gives a small self-deprecating chuckle.
I shouldn't complain about it, though. Not many even have the chance to go to such a school.
Also true.
You resent your parents for sending you there and then leaving?
Yeah, I nearly went to a Catholic school. Do you know that?
You might
Before
have
I
mentioned it
went to Douglas, my parents were thinking about transferring me over to a Catholic school in Dumfries, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I was having a bit of a crap time at the other school.
Yeah.
And apparently it was a much better school anyway. So,
Well, there you go.
better grades, that kind of thing. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm with you. She gently shakes her head,
Oh,
and then there's a pause.
why are you sad?
Why are you sad? Oh,
Oh shit! I'm supposed to be reading. I'm sorry. I was just like,
Yeah.
what's John?
it's okay.
My family is highly patriarchal. My father, business always on his mind, was entirely lost as to what to do with me. In the end, he made the decision that my education was of higher priority than staying with the family. Good.
Yikes.
Education is really important.
So's a good family dynamic, though.
If you can have both, great. But I don't know. Maybe this is me. I would rather have a solid. I'd have a solid education first. Or if I could have it, I'd have my parents give me a solid education. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, he simply did what he thought was best.
To say such things so easily. What an unbelievable girl.
Yeah, man.
That said, I'm a little surprised she doesn't think her blindness played any part at all. Though maybe I'm being too harsh on her family.
You're too kind-hearted, you know that?
Oh, you took me aback. Oh, see, it does this. There's like a big pause.
Most would hate their parents for something like that.
Oh. Okay. Well, some do.
Oblivious to my raised eyebrow, she takes a sip from her glass. The wine slips down effortlessly, her fondness for it evidently helping her deal with the flavour of alcohol. I can't say the same goes for me.
Hey, man, alcohol's fine. I don't
It's
get
a
it.
growing, some of it's an acquired taste. I still get a bit funny about drinking wine, you know?
Oh no, I love wine.
Like tonic wine.
Of course.
Yeah.
No, I feel like this is my philosophy. If you can taste the alcohol, it's bad.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a very good point, yeah.
Which is why
Unless it's like a spirit, obviously, but like...
Well, it depends
even
on the
then.
spirit, because even then, like, when
Yeah.
I was drinking a Jameson, I was, like, in that stream that we did, I was genuinely surprised, because I was just like, this is, like, really, really smooth. I've had some, I've had some single malts that are
as smooth,
overpriced and aren't as smooth, you know, and aren't as nice. And this is just like, it's not that it's run of the mill. Like, whiskey is expensive, but it, you know, as far as whiskey goes, it's like £20 a bottle kind of a thing, which is like nothing, you know. From when like a bottle of I don't know, Lagavulin or something will cost you £60 or 70 in some cases. So. Yeah, I'm of the philosophy if you can taste the alcohol, it's not good alcohol.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point.
What of yourself? What was your schooling like? We'll find out about his house schooling in the next episode. That was the best segue I've ever done. Actually, it was okay. It was fine. It was probably like, I don't know, and top 10 segues, probably like number 7 or whatever. Anyway, like, subscribe. Hit that little
Ring the
button.
bell.
I love that little Plagal cadence at the end of this tune. It's just beautiful. It gives me nice sort of like Bach kind of baroque kind of vibes. It's amazing. Anyway, let us know what you think about the soundtrack for this.
Yes.
'cause I love it. I
love it too.
I would get people together to. Actually, I'm not even joking. I would love to get people together to do like a live recording, because this is all like obviously like it's all like MIDI instruments and stuff. But very good MIDI instruments, may I add. Like that little bass,
Yes,
you can tell it's
lovely.
digital, but it's not awful. But
Yeah.
would low key be awesome to just get like, you know, piano, string quartet, whatever, to just play the soundtrack. It'd be really fun. Anyway, see y'all next time. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Part-timers, we do this part-time. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe.